Star vs. the Forces of Evil is the property of Disney, Darren Nefsey, and all respective owners. Any and all images have been used for the sole purpose of critique or parody and as such are protected under fair use. Please support the official release.
Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku and it's time for the review. And it seems like we've received back-to-back phenomenal episodes. I really enjoyed this one. And funny enough, it's essentially what I've been hoping for with Steven Universe for months. In a way, we received both a time skip and intense training from this episode. And the takeaway from all this will be immense, but hey, let's start from the beginning. Marco is in bed when the laser eye puppies wake him up, urging him to take them for a walk. And when Marco opens the door to do so, he's able to see this ridiculous storm that has caused water to flood the streets. So much flood water that someone is able to float down with a raft. Marco then decides to ask Star to borrow her interdimensional scissors that are conveniently right next to her. As for what Star is doing, it seems like training. She's attempting to shoot this tennis ball, honing her aim. I love seeing the immediate progression of these characters due to recent events. It seems like the evaluation in the previous episode has caused Star to desire proficiency with her magic abilities. Star hands them over, and Marco uses them to transport the puppies to a dog park. In this dog park, we actually see that creepy old lady and her talking dog from a previous episode. Sorry, I don't remember their names. And we also see Sensei's mother. Now, this isn't much of a walk as Marco only reaches his hand through the portal with the puppies. From here, he actually gets a bit trigger happy, using the scissors like most of us would dream to. Using it to pick up food, place his toes in the sand, everything. But as he's being lazy, he opens up a different kind of portal. This one resembling a flame, and before he can even fully perceive what's happening, he's pulled in by a hand. The person responsible for this is actually Heka-boo, who we've previously seen in the episode Page Turner. Apparently, she's the forger of all interdimensional scissors, and the pair that Star and Marco have been using actually belong to her. So that's a bit of lore we've never known right there. And let me just say, Heka-boo is bae. Her character design is amazing, and her sense of humor reminds me of like Adventure Time or Bravest Warrior, that kind of deal. She tells Marco that each pair of dimensional scissors is made for the entity who earns them. This makes dimensional scissors a lot cooler. I thought just about everyone had a pair, but it turns out they're a lot more exclusive. Marco then refuses to leave until he's gotten them back and is willing to prove himself to do so. This makes Heka-boo laugh at him, but he shows his resolve, causing her to set the terms. He has to blow out the flame over her head, and he wins, simple as that. Which is totally anime training if I've ever seen it, and considering otaku is in my name, you already know this got me hype. Turns out, Heka-boo is incredibly fast, and every time she passes Marco, she slaps him on the back of the head, which effectively burns his hair to the point of creating a bald spot at the back of his head. And by casting him into a portal, Heka-boo causes Marco to hang off a cliff, holding on for dear life. It's when he pretends to fall that she looks over the edge, and Marco, being the slick guy he is, blows out her flame. But apparently, this was only a clone, which there are thousands of. Marco has no way of knowing which one is in possession of the scissors, and they all run into different portals leading to different parts of the dimension. So for Marco to find the real Heka-boo could take multiple lifetimes. She actually offers him a way back home, but he refuses, not caring how long it takes. And damn, Marco is a man of his word, and with that, there's no doubt in my mind that anime was referenced in this episode's creation. It's reminiscent of Ichigo's Bankai training mixed with a Naruto or Luffy man of my word vibe. Meanwhile, Star is still battling this tennis ball and has yet to hit it. This goes to show that her training won't be fully accomplished in just one day. This will be a gradual process, requiring her to dedicate a lot of time, which is pretty ironic when compared to the later events of this episode. Anyways, some dude walking his dog ends up in Star's room due to all the open portals Marco left behind. The puppies are still at the park and haven't actually moved from the spot they were left in, so I'm not sure if they even actually received their walk. When Star notices the red portal, she immediately calls Ponyhead, who confesses to stealing Heka-boo's scissors when she wasn't looking. Then we cut to some Hellboy Spawn-like scene with two Heka-boo standing guard before a building, while simultaneously, some dude is flying in on a kick-ass flying dragon motorcycle. He wastes no time in drawing his katana and propelling a dust cloud towards them, extinguishing one of their flames. Once again guys, a friggin' katana, this episode was made for me. His actions upset the other Heka-boo, and while she is on guard, with her actually attacking, he's able to get behind her and pin her, allowing him to blow out her flame too. Do you realize how fast this man must have been to have done that, and with ease too? He does it smiling. He then opens up a journal where he has many flames crossed out representing all the clones he's defeated. Then it gets all edgy when he's standing behind Heka-boo as she forges a pair of scissors. So it all comes down to this. 16 years, a lot of clones. The dude removes his hood and we see an adult Marco, 30-year-old Marco, edgy and epic. Who's the little boy now? But rather than blow out her flame in a rush, he sits down and gets comfortable, reminiscing about his quest to find her. The exploding plains of Flendor, the mist of the Never Zone. This man spent years infiltrating a cloister of monks to get his hands on some ancient texts, leading him to dimensional scholars who taught him their language. Are you blown away by this as much as I am? He survived the afflicted forest and made it to her place. From here, he blows out her flame and she rewards him with his very own pair of dimensional scissors. Also, keep in mind that she puts up absolutely no fight. Now, this could actually mean that she has no chance of even beating him. Marco glowed up, he's a beast now, forget a red belt. He's been training in the absolute harshest environments for 16 years, and Heka-boo admits to underestimating him. This is one of the most notable figures in Magic talking, guys. From here, Star enters and is asking for Marco. She doesn't actually recognize the man before her and calls him a beautiful stranger. And the moment she actually realizes who he is, she's entranced by his new body, and as he's telling her his achievements, she's totally distracted by his abs. He's learned how to sword fight, fought an army of wolf bears, something inaudible, jet skiing over a waterfall, it's so many things. But when he tells her that it took him 16 years to acquire the scissors, she's shocked and tells him he's only been gone for like 8 minutes, which pisses him off. Imagine that. Your ordeal of life and death for the last 16 years is the time equivalent to some dude making chicken nuggets, I don't know. Heka-boo claims that time passes differently in the dimension he's been in, and she's not sorry at all. I just love her so much. But Star says it's actually good because he hasn't missed anything back on Earth. But Marco doesn't want to come back. He's actually enjoying his new life. He's actually unsure and debates with himself when Star says, "What about your parents or friends or me?" It's interesting how ready Marco was to never come back, even with his relationship with Jackie, who he's wanted to be with since he was a little kid. These episodes don't seem to be aiding anything Jarko related, and I can't help but feel as though it's intentional at this point. And Marco seems to have really formed a strong bond with his Dragon Cycle Nachos and tells Heka-boo to take care of her. Heka-boo agrees and Marco refers to her as an old friend. Think about this. They've been playing this game for 16 years, and for them to consider each other friends, dude, he spent more time with her than Star, than Jackie, hell, longer than his parents. Now, I'm not saying every moment was spent with her, but every moment was spent in relation to her. This quest to defeat her has been his existence for all this time, and that's insane. He even calls her H-Poo. What nickname does he have for anyone else? She lets him know that he can return whenever he wants, and really, 1 year would be approximately 30 seconds. So a single day would be something like 0.08 seconds. That's wild! Marco can train whenever he wants and miss virtually nothing. When they return to Earth, Marco reverts back to his 14-year-old form, losing his adult physique, but keeping his bald spot. I'm actually kinda curious if they'll keep it there as a sort of battle scar to remember his ordeal by. I really wouldn't be opposed, and I feel like they just might do this considering Heka-boo pops through the portal and calls it the Mark of Heka-boo, which is like Goku receiving his turtle hermit gi from Master Roshi, and you knew I had to sneak in another anime reference. Now, as for the repercussions of this episode's events, we already get a glimpse of how it ends off. The music becomes mundane as Marco surveys the simplicity of his own room. It's as if he feels out of place in the world he once called home. After all, he's been in Heka-boo's dimension longer than he's been on Earth. He goes to his laptop and can't remember his password. I wonder what else he'll forget. He goes over to his bed and continues to eat the burger he left before his journey. It's still warm. His expression, the music, and the rain behind them, they complement one another so beautifully as to convey his current feeling of being foreign in his own world. The puppies come over to him, leashes and all, and he agrees to walk them. It's been like 8 minutes and they want another walk? Well, I suppose Marco didn't actually walk them like he said he would previously, and that flood isn't anything to him now. Marco may have lost his physique, but what he has learned is quite substantial, and I'm just dying to see him in combat. He's no longer just player 2 at this point. He's kinda like River. But if he's at this stage already, when he's actually hit his peak in Earth time, his power will be unfathomable. He'll be in the same boat as Star when it comes to surpassing the current rulers of Muni. This was another great episode as the power of Ludo, Star, and now Marco has risen. What's to come will surely blow us all back, and I hope you're ready because I'm not. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments. Be sure to share this video with any anime and cartoon fan you know. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.